If you're thinking of doing a UK master's degree, you could actually be eligible for a postgraduate student loan of over £11,000. This video will explain what you can get, who is eligible, and how it all works in practice. I'm also going to include a few tips for your application.
So, how much can you actually borrow with a postgraduate loan? Well, the exact amount depends on which part of the UK you're from and which student finance agency you need to apply to. English students can currently borrow over £11,000, but the amounts vary for other parts of the UK. The best thing to do is to check the detailed and up-to-date guides on the Find a Masters website.
Whatever you borrow is paid directly to you in instalments. It's not means tested, and it's not actually linked to the cost of your masters. Instead, everyone is eligible for the same amount, and you've got to use that to cover your fees, your living costs, or any other expenses. It's really important to realise that the loan won't necessarily cover the full cost of a master's degree, but you can combine it with other funding or income from part-time work. In terms of eligibility for a postgraduate student loan, there are two options. If you're a UK student, you need to be ordinarily resident in England. That means that England is where you live when you're not at university, and it's probably the case that if you had an undergraduate student loan, you applied to Student Finance England for it.
Hi everybody, this is Mark from the future, or should I say the present. Unfortunately, EU students no longer have automatic access to UK student finance for master's degrees or other levels of study in academic year 2021-22. There are some situations in which you might be able to get a postgraduate loan in the UK as an EU student, but they're quite specific. Check our website for more information.
In terms of other eligibility criteria, well, you've got to be aged 59 or under at the beginning of your course. What that normally means is you need to be 59 or younger on the first day of the first academic year, which will usually be the 1st of September. You are allowed to get older during the degree. You can't already have a master's degree, so that includes any MA, MSc, MBA and so forth, or a higher qualification such as a PhD. Your course needs to be a full postgraduate master's degree, so it needs to award a master's, not a postgraduate certificate or postgraduate diploma, and it needs to be a postgraduate level qualification, so not an integrated undergraduate degree. You can get undergraduate student finance for that. Your university needs to be in the UK. You can study outside the UK for up to half your course, but it needs to be a UK university that awards your degree. Your course can last for up to 2 years full-time or 4 years part-time, and you can get a postgraduate loan for a master's in any subject. It can be an MA in history, an MSc in chemistry, an MBA, it doesn't matter. The repayment system for postgraduate loans is actually very similar to the one used for undergraduate loans. So if you're familiar with that, this will all seem quite easy to understand. If you're not, don't worry, it's still pretty simple. The first thing you need to know is that you only ever make a repayment when you're earning over £21,000 a year. If you earn less than that, you simply don't repay. Also, you only repay 6% of the amount over that £21,000 threshold. So it's not 6% of everything you earn. Any remaining balance, including interest, will be cancelled after 30 years. If you also have an undergraduate loan, you make 2 repayments concurrently, although obviously they'll be at slightly different rates and thresholds. Applying for a postgraduate loan is actually pretty simple. Applications are open now if you're doing a master's in academic year 2020-21. If you're thinking of a master's in subsequent years, the system usually opens around about May or June. We will let you know on the website, or indeed you can subscribe to our newsletter and we'll tell you as soon as it opens. You can apply online, and that's probably simplest, but if you have an existing Student Finance England account, you need to make sure you use it again for your postgraduate loan application. You can also apply by post if you prefer. The deadline is really relaxed. You can actually apply later after you start your master's, and you can request a change to the amount you're borrowing. Although you do need to make sure you finalise your application 3 months before the end of your master's. Here are a few tips for your postgraduate loan application. Number 1, remember that postgraduate loans aren't the same as undergraduate loans. You're not going to get a separate tuition fee and maintenance loan. It's all going to be paid to you, and you're going to need to budget with it. It's not guaranteed to cover your course fees or your living costs. Number 2, you don't actually need to have applied for your master's or been accepted in order to apply for a postgraduate loan. You can log on through the application system, nominate the course you think you want to do, and get your student finance application rolling. Finally, remember that you don't need to have repaid your undergraduate loan before you can apply for a postgraduate loan. In fact, most people applying for a master's loan will still have outstanding undergraduate loan repayments. I hope this has been useful. We've got loads of information on postgraduate student finance and other funding options on our site, so take a look at that and feel free to follow us for more tips and advice. Thanks.